Hey guys, Heather from Revel Yoga. Welcome. Today's posture tutorial is on child's pose, right? Not that big grand of a pose like a half moon or a handstand, but it is an important pose because we do it all the time in practice. And I know over the years of teaching, I've seen some people actually struggle in this pose when this pose could be something really beneficial and calming. It's the idea of in action, not doing, opposed to action and doing, right? So sometimes it's the not doing that's just as important. And I wanted to speak to that in this position. So let's just set it up with some alignment. And then I want to give you modifications if this pose is challenging for you to get into. And I always like to have props handy anytime I am practicing. Right? My body always feels different every time I get on my mat lately. So basic pose here, you want to have your knees about mat width apart and have your toes touch, as you can see. And then from here, you're trying to keep your hips back and you start to move and walk the upper body forward. The idea is to get the forehead down right in between the arms, keeping the arms active. I like to put sometimes a little grip into my fingertips also. Not only do I like this pose because it stretches my ankles, my shins, my knees, it also stretches my lower back, and I also find it very calming and grounding. Again, going back to that idea of in action, not doing. So if you do find this pose is not possible for you, and a lot of times people get really stuck in the knees, they have knee issues or really tight in their quads, I'd like to offer a blanket, right? Roll it up. If you don't have a yoga blanket, you can always, I say, choose a beach towel or a bath towel is fine. And then I put it right behind the knees. Right? And it's the same position. Knees are gonna go mat width apart. And you're going to have this nice little lift so that those of you who can't go all the way back, the blanket now is part of your bottom, so to speak, right? And then from here, same thing, you just start to walk the hands forward, right? And then come down, forehead down on the mat. It's also nice sometimes to rock your forehead side to side like you're saying no. Good. And then sometimes people cannot get their forehead down. They're just too tight in the upper body. So another nice modification to take is placing the block underneath your forehead if you can't get down that low. And I'll show you an example of that right here. You do want to keep the block probably at the lower end, I would say, for most people. One more variation of this pose that I particularly like, I'm going to take this blanket out here, is two blocks here, side by side. And then this is a nice little heart opener on top of taking Balasana here. So you can reach your arms up and then bring your palms together, just like this. Bend your arms so your thumbs are behind the nape of the neck. And then from here, you're gonna put your elbows on the blocks. Good, let your belly sink between the thighs. And let your forehead melt down. So if you have any questions for me about this pose, Balasana, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I always love chatting yoga, and especially those of you who can find yourself really in a position where I don't know if I can do this, right? We generally can find a way to make a pose work for you. My name is Heather. Thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you next month with my next posture tutorial. Bye-bye.